From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, May 3rd, 2016. Silver is trading at $17.58 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,295 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $451. Antiwar.com reports after considerable debate between the Obama administration and congressional leadership, it has been decided that Pakistan can, in fact, have up to 8 F-16 fighter jets from Lockheed Martin, but only if Pakistan actually pays for them. Congressional officials, including Senator Bob Corker of Tennessee, were said to object to the idea of the U.S. financing the sale or paying for any part of it, saying it would send a message to Pakistan. This appears to particularly be centered around efforts to get Pakistan to convince the Taliban to return to peace talks. Needless to say, having other nations actually pay for the weapons they get from the U.S. is not that common, and the State Department expressed objection to the idea, saying that being able to fund such sales is critical to promoting democracy. Pakistani officials also expressed anger at the turn of events, saying it proved a lack of sufficient appreciation among U.S. officials for all that Pakistan has done to work with them in assorted regional wars. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spend-A-Bit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spend-A-Bit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. UPI reports former Penn State University assistant football coach and convicted child sex abuser Jerry Sandusky returned to court on Monday as part of his legal team's new effort to throw out his 2012 convictions. Sandusky's attorneys argued for an evidentiary hearing to allow them to produce potential new evidence in the case, a request Judge John Cleland questioned whether there was a need for. If the judge decided that new evidence creates a new doubt in the case, Sandusky could receive a new trial. Prosecutors argued that defense lawyers have no new evidence and that a jury's conviction 4 years ago was a just verdict. Sandusky was convicted of 45 counts of child sex abuse and is serving a prison term of 30 to 60 years. The incidents of abuse occurred while Sandusky was an assistant coach to the Penn State Nittany Lions football team between 1969 and 1999. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the U.S. Supreme Court on Monday rejected a challenge by business groups to Seattle's law raising its minimum wage to $15 an hour, a move echoed by other locales, in a case focusing on how the ordinance affected local franchises like McDonald's. The supporters of Seattle's law hailed the court's action, which left intact a lower court ruling backing the measure, as a defeat for the big business lobby that has taken aim at minimum wage hikes. The International Franchise Association and the businesses that challenged the measure did not target the actual wage hike. Instead, they argued it was unfair for Seattle to exclude local franchises of big companies like McDonald's and Burger King from the small companies that the law gave 3 extra years to pay employees at least $15 per hour. Seattle was the first major U.S. city to commit to such a high basic wage amid pressure from unions and workers' rights groups. The move has since been followed to varying degrees by cities such as San Francisco and Los Angeles, as well as by state lawmakers in California and New York. Seattle's law, which took effect April 2015, requires businesses with more than 500 employees nationwide to raise their minimum wage to $15 per hour by 2018. Smaller companies have until 2021 to do so. The move by the Supreme Court means that cities and states that pass similar wage laws must treat franchises as offshoots of brand parents rather than independent small businesses. The Franchise Association said its 2014 lawsuit sought to level the playing field for the 600 franchise businesses that employ 19,000 people in Seattle, and it was disappointed with the court's action. A federal judge in Seattle in March 2015 sided with the city, and the San Francisco-based 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals last year agreed. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.